and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. On the show tonight, we'll be talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Yes, they were super against Libya. Were they really super? I'm not so sure of that. It was a long goal. Also, we'll talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League, all the games that will be played this weekend across the country, and touchdown in Benin City, talking about the Betsy Obaseki football tournament taking place in that city. The quarterfinals are set, and some teams are home, and they've been paid their consolation prizes. Yes, that had been done. And also, we will talk about basketball. We'll be yearning for it. Yes, the final phase is in Lagos. It started on Thursday. We'll talk about the teams that are really progressing in the Nigerian women's basketball. Yes, so much to talk about on the show tonight. Edafe Matthew will be joining me on the show. And of course, it's a Friday. There's someone who usually you wouldn't see on a Friday. So on Friday night, you have Oludolapo Adewale. She's right here with me in the studio. It's good to have you.
Good to be here, Cici, and happy International Day of the Girl Child.
Yes. To you. Thank you so much. Yes, it's a special day for the girl child, celebrated across the world today. Yes, Edafe Matthew is also ready to join us on the program tonight. We'll be talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. You're wondering why he's like this, talking to us. He's the CEO of Elegbete TV and Radio, and that's why he's actually acting like the CEO right now, with him joining us right here, all the way. You're in Lagos, right? Or where are you? Good evening.
I'm in Lagos, actually.
Okay. Yeah, it's great to have you join us.
Thank you very much, Cici. Good to hang out with you again. My crush for life. How are you doing?
Fantastic. At least I'm happy tonight because at least Dele-Bashiru just made me happy. I thought it was going to end goalless, but somehow he was able to crush it. He did that, and of course, 3 points in the bag, that's what is important, right?
Yes, it is. For me, too, it's the same thing. We've not really set up ourselves where to be expecting more than that. So the fact that we got our win, yeah, Benin Republic won by 3-0. Other results were better than ours. But in cases like this, in qualifiers, do just about enough to qualify. We've not reached the place where we'll say we need to impose ourselves. We were the better team. We needed to win. I don't know why the assistant referee disallowed the goal by Ademola Lookman. Could have been 2-0. But hey, it is what it is. The most important thing was that we needed to pick up 3 points in this game, and we pick up all that 3 points. And I'm okay, satisfied. I wouldn't say I'm satisfied, but I'm okay with it.
Satisfied? You satisfied with the result, or you okay with it? Just okay?
Just okay with it, because, you know, in the first 15 minutes, I was like, where's the action? Where's the action? I couldn't see the action. First 15 minutes was just dry, but it looked like there were chances, you know, Iwobi's chance and all that. I was looking for that aha moment until they left it late, until the 86th minute or thereabout, when that goal came from Bashiru. It saved the day, and I was wondering, why are we having ball possession with little or nothing to show for it? And, you know, the game continues to drag, and I was seeing antics from the Libyan team falling down, rolling over, and what's happening? Now, it's making me a bit scared of the return leg.
Okay.
What is going to happen on Tuesday?
Fingers crossed.
We will see a lot of time wasting as well. So with fingers crossed. But in all, everything that happened, we got the 3 points.
Yeah, that's what is important, right? Okay, we'll just take a look at the screen and we'll get confirmation of the result that went down today. You see that Benin Republic, I mean, for that particular country, when you see the result and that of Nigeria, you'll be wondering what's going to happen in return leg when Nigeria traveled to Libya. Well, Nigeria won, Libya 0, and Benin Republic 3. Of course, Rwanda 0. Genetro, you know, Super Eagles' former coach, he's the coach of Benin Republic. When they came to Nigeria, we won, and when we went back, it was a draw. This is what Group D is like, Friday's result. We can just take a look at what the table is looking like. Yes, you would say it's still early. How early is that? No, it's not early. After 3 games, The Super Eagles are on 7 points. Goal difference of 4. They've drawn just 1. That was against Benin, winning 2. 1 against Benin and the other against Libya. And Benin Republic, of course, after 2 matches, they're on 6. After 3 matches, 2 wins, 1 loss, and on 6 points. Rwanda, of course, on 2 points. And Libya still maintains their 1 point. And there were discussions earlier, yesterday, right here on the show, we're thinking, will the Libyans want to pull up a stunt? And that stunt, they pull up. I'll throw this question to you, Edafe. I mean, when you were watching the game, Oludolakpo just mentioned it, the first 15 minutes of the game, we're looking for action within C. But lots of possession. We didn't have that wow moment that you're looking for, or the attacking powers we're thinking. Victor Boniface is yet to score for the Eagles. And when Samuel Chukwueze came in, we saw what I don't know, he couldn't do much with the chances he got. What are your views about this, and how can we really get the Super Eagles scoring again? I think there's something that the coach can actually do. I know that, yes, some of the changes he made, of course, the players he brought in later were the one that added a little bit of bite to the game.
Well, for me, I think the most important thing is to say that from the way we played, you could simply tell that the coach had not seen the Libyan team play before. So we set up with 2 defensive midfielders in Onyeka and Wilfred Ndidi, even though Wilfred Ndidi had the instruction to go further forward more than Onyeka. But we were defending against a team that was playing the new discovered system called the Dark Art. They were there to defend. They were not willing to cross the center line, maybe a few counter-attacking here and there. So in the second half, the coach noticed that, okay, now this is how the Libyans want to play. Maybe I might have to adventure forward, bring in forward-thinking players that will move into the box, players that will be in the final third, and that's how the goal came in. If you look prior to when Bashiru came in, Onyeka and Wilfred Ndidi had not ventured inside the box of the opposition unless we're playing a corner kick. But you see when Moses Simon got the ball on the left, and then Dazo, that man, like the guy that was falling under anointing, crossed the ball in. Bashiru was in the box. That's one of the things that also Alex Iwobi wasn't doing, because even if we say they played 2 defensive midfielders, I expected Alex Iwobi to be controlling the tempo of the game, but it was too quick. You know, his passes were too integrate sometimes, like the intricacies of his passes, just too quick, short passes like that, and they were difficult. So I think in the second half, the coach realized that I made a mistake with the tactics and the approach of the game, and he decided to change it and turn it into something else. The most important thing is to see where you're wrong with your setup and then be able to change it. And I think the coach did that. It's good for me. You know, with the Super Eagles, you don't have enough time to set up your tactics, to train the players, to tell them what you want them to do. And then in African football, you might not have all the opportunities to watch the opponent and know who they are bringing and who they are not bringing. So sometimes it's very difficult. If you look across the spectrum of other African Nations Cup qualifiers, the result would also tell you there is maybe 1, 2, 3 big results. The other ones are 0-0, 1-1, 1-0, lucky wins and all that. So it's the same thing across Africa. It's not just a Nigerian team, but it's just an African football team.
Is there something we can do differently about this quickly? Because I know players, you ask players to maybe open camp on a Monday, and players will start coming in that Monday, Tuesday. Then you don't have full complement of your players, maybe 2 days or a day to the game. This cannot change at all. It's going to remain like this for like foreseeable future or something.
Well, you've worked with national team and you understand the challenges that the national team deals with. One of the things you have to understand with the peculiarity of the situation with the current Super Eagles is that we do not have a substantive coach. 3 weeks to the time of this game, Eguavon did not even know if he is going to be the one in charge of the team. So that also affects planning and communication with players. Again, the way football is today, some of our players will play their last games on Sunday. And then probably they would have booked their flight, and then they don't have a flight on Sunday night to take them to Nigeria, so they have to go on Monday. And some of those flights are coming in the night. So they arrive in Nigeria, depend on what city they are arriving at, either Abuja or Lagos. They arrive again, they have to now connect a flight from Lagos or Abuja to Uyo, so it might get into Mondays or Tuesday. It's always going to be like that until, you know, we are able to get them in camp longer than this, and for a very long time. We also have a coach who stays for long and then is able to say, okay, you know what, I want to start my camp with home-based players and then begin to inject the foreign base gradually, like what Westerhoff did. But every time people remind us of what Westerhoff did, let us also remind those people that football, as it was in 1989, 1990, 1991, 92, 93, 94, is not the same as it is today anymore. So we can't use that mantra, that method, to judge today's football based on the Westerhoff style. I think this is how it's going to be. It is not down to the players to adapt fast and be a bit more patriotic, be a bit more committed to the cause, and know how to impose themselves. Unfortunately, for as long as you are Nigeria, every opposition wants to beat you.
That's the thing. I mean, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, you call them giants of Africa, but at the end of the day, every minor giant or little giant wants to be the giant of Africa. Which of these players actually impress you tonight?
I think I would just say, it's difficult to mention, but I would just say because of just this leadership style, I would want to give it to Troost-Ekong.
Okay.
Just because the way he was rallying around the players, telling the players to go for it and all that, that's the only person I would really go for.
Wow.
But the goal scorer stepped up to the plate. Yeah. The fact that he was a substitute and he came to just do magic from the bench to the pitch, I think my man of the match will actually go with Bashiru.
Of course,
that's the person. He's a goal scorer. So I think that's the person I would actually give my man of the match to. Yes.
Okay. I mean, Edafe, you just mentioned Dele-Bashiru. How impressed were you about his play when he came in as a sub?
I was in Oyo when he also played in the other game where he scored. I've always liked his courage, his commitment, and his attitude. I remember a journalist asked him if he's fazed by wearing the jersey number 10, and he said he's looking to do exactly what players like Okosha and Mikel Obi did for the national team. And then coming on, if you look when he came in, it's about 10 minutes or 15 minutes to the end of the game, he kind of like carried this attitude of, why am I coming in late? If you read in the body language. Things like he was hungering for more time, and then he came in and he delivered. If he keep coming in to deliver like that, I'll be very excited with him. I also think that Lookman was very enterprising, full of running, very brilliant in his play. Just the final product that was missing generally for the team. It's not a Lookman or Moses Simon or anybody's problem. There was just there's this thing we say in football. When they say Pigeon Palace when I was playing in the league. When you play Ogbori, the game not is sweet. It either clicks for you to beat them with a wide margin, or it's just very dirty. It's like Man City playing against Arsenal, one man down, and you saw how bad the game became. And the English press said it was dark art. That's exactly what Libya came to do. Like, okay, we can't match the Super Eagles star for star, player for player, quality for quality. Let's just muddle the waters and see if we can run away with a draw, luckily. Unfortunately, they didn't get that draw, and we won. It's 3 points. We'll go to Libya. They might come out to play, and then we might even score more.
When I even saw the formation for Libya, I was a bit like, what is this formation?
What are they trying to play?
5-4-1. In the first place.
That's the dark art he talked about. Yeah, talking about the game against Libya, we'll just give you the full information concerning the day and the time for that game. You have Libya and Nigeria. It will be on Tuesday, October 15th, and Rwanda, Benin Republic will also be in action on that day. So Group D, well, if Nigeria is able to get another 3 points, you have like 3 legs in Morocco, just one out of it. Okay, other African teams that were in action earlier today. You have Madagascar and Gambia ended 1-1. Egypt beating Mauritania by 2-0. Equatorial Guinea and Liberia, so it was 1-0. Zambia and Chad, that ended goalless. Another, I mentioned it earlier, most of the games, all the games, not a high score margin, but low scoring margin, because not most of these teams have time to really put their teams together. But hey, Cameroon had one fantastic result, 4-1 against Kenya. Uganda and South Sudan ended 1-1. South Africa beating Congo by 3-0. Mozambique and Eswatini ended 1-0. These are the results coming from the African qualifiers. Now, against Libya, you mentioned it. What can the team do differently with the tactics they employ? Remember how they were falling on the ground, and even when the referee blew the final whistle, the players gathered around the referee were wondering why would you have to end it 4 minutes, just 4 minutes at that time. That's why the whole time that they spent rolling on the ground and, the delay tactics that they employed when they were playing the match.
Well, I think that the referee at some point started refereeing the game like it was a training match and he was a coach. That was my little pain about the officiating of the game, and it cut for both sides. North African teams will be North African teams. This is what they do at club level, at national team level. It's not going to change. If it worked for you, well, keep on doing it. If they had done that thing successfully and Bashiru didn't score that goal, they will go home happy that he came to Nigeria and got a draw. So, and then we would be complaining now that he's not a good coach, he doesn't know what he's doing. So it worked for them until we scored that goal. Just the same way the dark act almost worked for Arsenal against Man City until John Stone came off the bench to score, and the story is different. Well, either ways, I think when we go away, the Libyans will want to play more because they will be in front of their vociferous and energetic fans.
Yes.
And they would think, okay, this will spur us further. If they come out to play against us, I think that there'll be more space, pocket of space in the defensive area of the Libyans, and we will score. It is hard to play against a team that is playing a completely defensive low block. I don't care what kind of coach you are. When you play against a team that have this mind made up on defensive low block, it is hard to win. So for winning, I give the Super Eagles credit for that and Eguavon. I just hope that when we go away, they come out to play, and then we'll see a different Super Eagles.
That's what we want to say, different Super Eagles. What do you want to say against Libya?
Definitely, I concur with Edafe, because for what I saw in today's game, if we do not take the chances early on, for the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, if we do not take the chances early on, we are setting ourselves for failure. But I do not hope that that's going to happen at Libya. Let's call the goal at the beginning. Let's give them a run for their money right in front of their home fans. We need to see that. We got the possession in this game quite all right, but we were losing the balls early. And another thing is that when we had the ball, we also did not pass well. I could see a couple of missed passes, as well, even though we had some chances. So I think all those things need to be rectified in the return leg.
Yeah, hopefully they can do that. And maybe Tuesday, around this time, we should be celebrating the victory. 6 points in the bag. Eguavon promised to do a double, and hopefully he can do that double against Libya. All right, let's quickly talk about this one. The House Committee on Sports met yesterday talking about the different aspects of the game, especially how they're going to prepare for the next Olympics, because of what happened in Paris. So everyone is actually interested in that. They have a lot. They had a lot to talk about. Especially sometimes, you remember, sometimes they've put a bill before the House on the trust funds for the Olympics, whereby they can easily take money from there, and of course the lottery funds also. So these are some of the bills already in the House. And they intend to pass that for us to actually have more funds sponsoring sport. Well, let's just take a listen to them, what they had to say concerning the state of football, the state of sports in the country, not just football, other sports.
Out of over 40 federations we have in Nigeria, only less than 20 are functioning. And out of the 20, only 5 are fully funded. The committee will engage the appropriate authorities and will thoroughly and painstakingly look into all the challenges contending with all the sports federation and a view of overcoming them to the betterment of our vibrant and articulated youth and Nigerians at large. Honorable colleagues, the issue of decaying sport infrastructure across the country, especially our national stadia, should be urgently looked into and addressed through adequate budgetary allocation. There is need for timely and adequate preparation for the forthcoming Olympics, schedules that will take place in Los Angeles in 2028 in order to avoid the dismal performance of the Paris Olympic. The committee envisages sustainable development plan detailing grassroots programs, training facilities, comprehensive medical report system, strategic players rotation designed to promote football development and other sporting activities across the nation. It is the hope of the committee that the Super Eagle will qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations slated for Morocco in 2025. It is also the opinion of the committee that the National Institute of Sports should brace up and provide the prerequisite manpower training needed to make the nation excel in sports.
So much, Honorable Kabiru Amandu, talking about the state of Nigerian sports and what they can do differently to actually, make the sports a viable one, not just putting money into it, but also making profit from it. That is the Chairman House Committee on Sports, House of Representatives. We'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll digest this. And it's all about having that sustainable development plan that can actually ensure that we have grassroots sports. It's really well followed, not just followed, but deliberate attempt to actually invest in it and promote it. And that's what the House Committee on Sports, House of Representatives, talking about Kabiru Amandu. Those are some of the things they reel out of what they intend to do with the sports ministry to ensure that sports, well, it's not just where you put in money, but also get money out of it. And also maybe laurels winning for most of the athletes and footballers who represent the country. And after you listen to this man, and he said, usually they'll say a whole lot. And I'm actually surprised that out of the 40 federations to talk about, 20 active, but only 5 are fully funded. Interesting.
The funny thing is, it's not even about the 5 that are fully funded or not. The thing you need to look at in this part is, before we transition into this state now where we have a substantive sports minister, we used to have the Minister for Youth and Sports. The budget of that ministry, 98% goes to NYSC, that is youth, and 2% goes to sports. Now that we've come here, how much is our budget? The leader of the committee was talking of the Los Angeles Olympics. As we sit here, we are already out of the medal table. We cannot win any medal in Los Angeles. So anybody putting
Why are you like this?
No, it's not a question of me not being interested in our success. Yeah. It's just the truth. It takes 20 years to prepare a medal-winning performance at any Olympics. And there are stages. First, you start with your coaches. Secondly, you start with your medical experts. Yeah. And then the athletes themselves. So if you ask any Nigerian athlete that is training in the US, they will tell you the same thing. America will not train you to go and win their medal. Yeah. They'll train you to be training materials to help their athletes be better. When it comes to winning those Olympic medals, which give them soft power, political recognition globally, they are not training you to go win it. So if this committee is sitting here and preparing for Los Angeles, it's just a waste of time and waste of effort. Whatever we're doing here right now has to go with. In countries where they have the right infrastructures, where the coaches are there, the medical facilities are available, they still take 10, 15 years to prepare their athletes. So why are we don't have any training facilities, we don't have any infrastructure. The whole of Nigeria have only one stadium that is up to par. And we are overusing that stadium already in Uyo. There is no place to really train our athletes, whether it's for wrestling or for swimming or for basketball or anything. We depend on the international communities to train our own for us. We're not ready to win Olympic medal. If we're ready to do what the other countries are doing, to win their own gold and their silver. The Chinese athletes are not training in American school. The Switzerland or the British athletes are not training in American school. Why do we always think that our athletes will go to American school, come back, and then come and win for us? The Saudi Arabia has just took one of our best athletes in NPFL to work with them and see how they can grow. They started the process not for Los Angeles, but for the 4 Olympic after Los Angeles. Why are we thinking that we'll just go to Los Angeles and go and win it? It's not something that is doable. Now, it's not rocket science. We have to understand what the successful countries are doing and how they are doing it, and then we apply it. You adopt and to adapt.
Adopt to adapt. I love that. You're just shaking your head when he was talking. Which part are you picking from what he said?
You know, when I was listening to the chairman, of the House Committee on Sport. I was like, it's good that they're talking about it. The National Stadium, I'm talking about sports facility now.
Yes, that he mentioned.
The National Stadium in Abuja is just very close to them. I'm so glad you're talking about it. Today's match that happened at Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo could have been played at the National Stadium, but it looks like that place is now like a museum where we just have it as one of the relics of the nation. This stadium, if my memory is correct, I think it was built for 2003 competition, and that stadium was this All-African Games, thank you, and it was a synergy of eyes. That stadium hosted South Africa. It was even the record performance or record attendance for that game. We had South Africa versus Nigeria in that stadium.
I watched Argentina and Nigeria in that stadium.
But now it looks like it's just from outside that we can just say, oh, this stadium is fine, but get inside. Grasses. There was a time someone did a report about the state of the stadium, and this is just serious. Okay. I was having a chat with my dad earlier today, and he was talking about how, in those days, people used to go to Adamasingba Stadium, Liberty Stadium in Ibadan, and watch football matches in the stadium, and the stadium was well maintained. But fast forward to today, even the Uyo Stadium that we have, fine, it's good, but how many people are coming? How many people are eager to watch a football match in a stadium? Edafe mentioned training facilities. Apart from football, do we have good stadium that can host other games where people will say, yes, this is an indoor stadium, outdoor facilities? We need to get our sports facilities right. Right here, we cannot be thinking that our athletes like Toby Amuson were training outside the country and will come to win medals for us. When he mentioned 20-year plan, I was just nodding that is spot on. I watched a documentary about China, when China hosted the Olympics in Beijing. Yeah. That's 2008. They said even from Barcelona 92, they had been preparing. Yes. Barcelona 92, I was like a small child that time. They've been preparing to win, to do that record in 2008. Now we're talking about Los Angeles 2028. 2028.
Yes, 2028.
I think we should just prepare to give our best showing at 2028, but do not let us have any medal hope at all. Let us prepare right now for 2038 or 2036.
I have two guests in the studio who doesn't want us to win a medal.
No, we want you to win.
I understand that. I get it right. Because sometimes we stumble on it and we usually win and we feel we can continue like that. Maybe we need like a reality check and know what to do. All right, let's go straight to the Nigeria Premier Football League. Yes, that's where most of the talent comes from. But you hardly see them playing for the national team. I'll just run through the results that will happen this weekend. Yes, Sunday's fixtures, match day 6. Bayelsa United will be up against Plateau United, Ekanemi Warriors and Heartland. You have Remo Stars and Nasuru United, Aqua United and Canopilas. Aqua United is searching for their first win of the season. Remo Stars, were their unbeaten run, it's already over. Take a look at other games for match day 6 on Sunday. Katsina and Rivers United will be in action. You have Niger Tornadoes and Lobby Stars that finally got their first win of the season. Shooting Stars and Enyimba International will also be in action. That's on Sunday. We have other games on Saturday. Yeah, for Saturday's game, we have Abia Warriors and Kwara United. Kurudu City will be hosting Benin Insurance in Lagos, and Sunshine Stars and Rangers International will be in action on Saturday. That's for match day 6. Therefore, which of these games kind of catch your attention? Yes. I think you have to unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
Shooting Stars, sorry. For me, the biggest game is the Shooting Stars. Shooting Stars. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, Shooting Stars versus Enyimba is the biggest game for me. And then getting past that, there's a game of sentiment. Ikorodu City have not won a game this season. I'm looking forward to them winning, at least let them win their first game. I'm not even here to talk about whether they relegate or they will not relegate, but let them just win their first game first. But the biggest game of the weekend is definitely the Balogun or the Warriors of the Southwest Nigeria playing against the Elephants of the Southeast Nigeria, perennial title winners, perennial top goal scorer provider, playing against the old school perennial winners in 3SC. It's going to be a battle royale. It's going to be a very tough one. Coach Yemi, Yewa as we call him,
Yema.
We're ready to do something with his Enyimba boys and see what he's doing. I also have a little bit of one eye looking at the Rivers United game. They're going away. What will Finidi cook up in that game? It does look like he's going to go to Rivers United and win the league and also join the likes of Kadiri Kana and a few other coaches that have won the Nigerian league with different clubs.
Interesting. You mentioned that. Which one actually gets you talking? Which of these games?
Aqua United. Aqua United versus Kano Pillars. First, because Aqua United, they believe they want to also win.
Yeah.
Baba Ganaru believes that it's taking his team to win. And Kano Pillars, because Ahmed Musa just returned, and maybe they'll be boosted by that. He scored a brace in the last game. And I'm looking at that game. Aqua United is at home. They're going to play at Uyo. So they're looking to break that losing streak, so to speak. Then the other game is Remo Stars. Remo Stars is doing well on the table. They want to do well and score their goals. The other game that is coming to me right now is Emmanuel Amunike's team, Atland FC. I saw one of their players that they just signed. Is like this guy that has all the firepower, Ogu Michael. It's giving them all the ginger they need. So I think Atland FC is another game. Atland FC versus Niger Tornadoes is another game that I want to see. Sorry, not Niger Tornadoes, El Kanemi Warriors.
Interesting. I mean, Lobby Stars, we're looking forward to Daniel Amokachi taking over Lobby Stars. What can he really do differently with Lobby Stars? Because when we were listening to him, when he met with the governor, he talked about he wants his players to be paid on time, at a particular time. That's what he wanted. Players well taken care of. Welfare is number one. And we know Lobby Stars are playing their games away from home. They're not even playing in their home court, their home ground.
I think he spoke well. The thing about coaching is I play the game and I've coached players too. And one of the things that if you're talking to players that have not been paid, you're talking to this ear and it's going out this way, because to them is when you're done saying all you want to say, go and talk to the management to give us our money. But when they have been paid, whatever they agreed on and they've been paid, you cannot call on them, because it becomes a rule of to whom much is given, much is expected. You can set expectation. The only thing I want to beg Amokachi is your team cannot be wearing one brand of kit and then you're wearing Adidas. It doesn't speak well for the brand of the league. But I like the fact that we have a cluster of the 94th team. Finidi George is there. Emmanuel Amunike is there. Then you have Amokachi, and then you have Imama Babakabo from the 1985 Golden Eaglet team. So some of these guys are doing the job. I just hope they do it well. By the end of the season, I sincerely hope that Remo Stars win the league. But before then, let's enjoy all of the dramas that come. I want Remo Stars to win because Remo Stars as a football club is an example of what a professional football club should be. Yeah, they don't pay the best salaries, but the highest earning player in the league is still playing for Remo Stars. But overall, maybe on the average, you will say, oh, they don't pay the best salary. But the structure they have, it's something you want to look at. Sporting Lagos, Inter Lagos, the Ikorodu City in the future, when they have the money, that they are able to do things like that.
Hopefully they can do that. I'm talking about players' welfare and also owing players. Yes, you have it. That's Nigeria Premier Football League. Clubs are facing complaints of contract breaches and payments. Now, we start off with the heartland of Owerri, we just mentioned. The overdue payables and contract breaches with Coach Kennedy Boboye, Ezekiel Bassi, Stephen Chukudi, Itodo Ocheme, Prince Momo, Aputazi Ugochukwu, Samuel Emeka Onukumbe, Ifeanyi Ayeun, Austin Osayende, Patrick Wangbara, and Chukudi Ezobe. So that's what they've done. And you go to 3SC, Better Insurance, Kwara United, Lobby Stars, and Economic Warriors. They had issues of overdue payables of contract breaches with Sikiru Alimi, Yusuf Shira, Adekule Samuel, Solomon Babatunde, Lotsin Ichu, respectively. these are the players that they're having breaches with. Of course, it has to do with owing salaries. Let's take a look at other clubs. Abia Warriors is also in this port. Abia Warriors have unresolved cases from arbitration with Ike Dinachi Wankama. That's a 4 million. Julius Obina, 3 million. Imo Azubike, 3.15 million. Yeah, Victor Alebe, 5 million. Lobby Stars and Kwara United also have unresolved cases from arbitration with Christian Wonkedi. That's 1.5 million. That's what they owe him. John Obu, 10 points. Wow. That's a whole lot for John Obu. And of course, Aqua United. I was surprised Aqua United is on this list. They have issues with Osahom, Uwangbo, and other players. And this amounted to 47 million. Okay, that's after it was revalidated from an earlier decision that was made in 2015. So it's a whole lot for this club. Economic Warriors is also here. They have unresolved cases with Bala Yusuf. They are owing him 750,000 naira. Emmanuel Adoyi, 1.65 million. And Suleiman Sadiq, 1 million. And the clubs have been given till 14. That's on Monday to actually resolve this issue. Or they will have their licenses, all their new players withdrawn indefinitely. Now, this is interesting, Daffy. I know you will want to say a lot about this one. Just wrap this up for us. I mean, this is not looking good for the club at all in Nigeria. It's a Premier Football League.
They have the excuse of the economy as the reason why they are not able to pay. But I think that the time frame given to them is very, very short. It might make a mockery of the decision. They might not be able to meet it up. Take the Aqua United, for instance. Where are they going to get 47 million from? And to make that kind of payment. Come on, this is not election campaign time. So it's going to be difficult. But I think that they should make them schedule the payment. But for those who are owing 1 million, 1.35 million, those monies should be able to be paid instantly. But I don't think it is going to apply same rule, same measure for all of the teams.
Same rule, same measure. Edafe, I want to thank you so much for taking our time to join us today on the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, quickly, I know you want to chip in on this one. A quick one before we move to the Betsy Obaseki. And of course, we have basketball still in the menu. I mean, the bridges, at a time like this, you don't expect, you talked about the economy, but some of this money, not just now, it's been like a long time.
Yes, a long time coming, and the fact that it has accumulated this far, now we're wondering, we want to make our league so attractive, we want to make people to play, we want to have home players, but if we keep seeing these issues coming up, it leaves so much to be desired. I think the clubs should just rise up to the occasion, settle all this debt, and let's have a clean league where people. I think one of these issues made us to have an abridged league last year, and this time around we're having issues with players, with coaches. You don't want a coach leaving your club with a bad feeling. You don't want a coach who can't come again. Look at Ahmed Musa coming to play for his boyhood club. We want something like that to keep happening, where people will be free to come to a club they've left years ago and feel free to play with their heads high. So
that's what
we shouldn't be having things like this. I think the NPFL, since it has been rebranded to this stage, we should be better.
Yeah, but the time is short, according to Edafe. All right, quickly, let's take a look at Betsy Obaseki tournament. 6 teams have crashed out of the tournament, and these teams, after they crashed out, they were given their money. So they failed to qualify to the quarterfinals of the 4th edition, and Yusuf Ali actually made the presentation for them. We know 750,000 each was presented to them. And surprisingly, FC Robo happens to be one of these teams that were out that so early in the tournament in the 4th edition. Niger Rata is also there. I'm not surprised about that. But Delta Babes and Braveheart are completed as this one. They failed to qualify to the quarter-final stage. Let's just listen to them, what they had to say after taking part and what they intend to bring in the 5th edition.
It's one of those things you see in football. I think, coming up with a new team and young girls of different approach to football, you expect some kind of result like this at times. And then we lost concentration, and that was it, because we were in charge. All the games we played here, the first and the second game, we were in charge. But they lost concentration, and that is why we are here. If we come for the next edition, we are coming to win the cup. There's no two ways about it, because by that time, these girls will have metamorphosed into being, because most of them are students for now. It's just an experimental tournament for me now. But despite the fact that we have worked, people will see that these guys are trying. But unfortunately, experience in football counts.
We actually came to the tournament. We had fun. We played our best, and we're good to go. In the next edition, we will actually do more than we did this year. Our opponents were tough. Most of them were professional teams, though it was also a great experience to play against professional teams, but they were tough, I must say.
Were you in any way intimidated?
Not at all. Not at all. We've had friendly matches with some of the professional teams, so it was more like it wasn't hard at all, though they were stronger, but we were not intimidated.
When the draws were made and we had FC Robo, Edo Queens and Remo Star, we know that was the group of death, and they were the one that crashed out by a long goal. But all said and done, I think it paved way for us to move a step further. Our plan is to test the new girls we have, because the major thing is the continental we are chasing. And for the event generally, organization it's not bad. It's the 4th edition, and I think it's moving. But our plan is that in the next coming years, it will get better. For the first time, we saw 2 teams from Benin Republic coming to grace the occasion, and hopefully next year we'll have a team from Europe. When we said that we're going to have a team from outside Nigeria last year, people thought we were joking, but they've seen it, and I'm sure next year you'll see 1 or 2 teams from Europe, and that's a sure banker. We are doing everything possible to make the event big and bigger. And the First Lady, she's not relenting, and the government of Edo State love the event. And any government will want to do any event that is good. And I'm sure that in the nearest future, the event will grow up to be a very big pre-season tournament.
Bigger and better. Yes, you have the teams that are playing in the quarterfinals. I'll just quickly run through them. Edo Queens and Abia Angels will be in action. They'll play at Uniben Sports Complex, 10 a.m. Bayelsa Queens and Fortress Ladies at 10 a.m. Western Boys High School, that's where they will be playing. Nasarawa Amazons and Remo Stars Ladies will be playing at Uniben Sports Complex. That's 12 p.m. And the last game for the day, also 12 p.m. Heartland Queens and Esport FC. That's the team from Benin Republic. They will be in action, the quarterfinals of the Betsy Obaseki Women's Football Tournament. Okay, a quick one on basketball. We had to on basketball. Yes, the final eight. They are here. They are in Lagos. It started yesterday, of course. First Bank, after what they did at the other stages in this final 8, they are doing something remarkable. Yes, 8-time champions dominated their counter against their opponents, winning all 4 games and all 4 quarters for them to be able to win that one. Also, you have Nigerian Customs also securing a hard-fought victory over Dolphins. You also have Bayelsa Blue Whales. They were also on the winning run. If we have time, just quickly take a look at a confirmation of these results. We'll just look at confirmation of this result and then the games for a Saturday, because the final 8 is already here. A quick one on this one before we take a look at the result. Just a quick one.
Yes,
30 seconds.
I'm just hoping that Bayelsa's quest, they want to win the league right now, their first title in history. So maybe this will just give them that morale boost.
Without win, right? With First Bank there. I'll just quickly run through the result for Thursday. This is a First Bank and Royal Ace. It ended 76-46. Nigerian Customs and 74-61. They were playing against MFM, I guess. Titans and Bayelsa Blue Whales, it was 42-60. For Friday's result, Bayelsa Blue Whales and Royal Aces and First Bank and Titans was 70-45. That's earlier today. MFM also won their game earlier today. Titans and Royal Aces will be playing on Saturday. First Bank and Bayelsa Blue Waves and Customs and MFM. Yep. That's the show for today. Yeah. International Girls' Day.
I will go without talking about it. Coming into the studio, I was just thinking, today is International Girl Child Day, and we've seen girls who did amazing in sports. A certain girl comes to mind, someone that started even right when she was young, Oyinlomo Quadri in tennis, and she's currently playing at Florida State University, doing well. It's just a lot of questions now that If girls start in sports, will they go? I remember a small girl.
We have to go. I think we need to create time to discuss this. I mean, why
girls like you in sports who are doing well and inspiring other girls that you can be more in sports. Sport journalist, sport broadcaster,
if you can play, right? A whole lot. There's a whole lot in sports if you decide to take it. Thank you so much, Dolapo, for coming on the program tonight.
I'm grateful.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Have a good night's rest.